What were your first impressions of the trailer?
My first impression is that it was clearly a horror, and it had like the right structure, because I liked the way you had the two normal characters at the start, and then the event came in with the other character, and I liked how that kind of came halfway. And the way she stood there and went, "Hey, I'm Julia," you kind of thought, oh, yeah, maybe she is the bad character. You could kind of tell, yeah.
What genre does it look like? Just looking from the film, what kind of genre do you think it's advertising?
Definitely horror, yeah.
Could you see any other kind of genre linked in with it?
Maybe thriller, horror thriller. Maybe a bit of a romance, yeah.
Did the trailer reveal much?
I think it revealed the right amount, because you was watching it and you wasn't thinking, I've got no idea what's going on, but you saw enough to go, oh, I really want to watch that. Like, I want to know what actually happens, and I want to know what's going to happen with him and Julia, and that's, I think you gave her the right amount. Would
you change anything if you could?
Maybe a few of the editing shots are a bit like jumpy, and you was a bit like, oh, what just happened there? Just a bit more focused, maybe.
Yeah.
Just in a few places.
Yeah. What do you think about the soundtrack in the back? Because it was a bit of, it was actually a nice soundtrack, but it had...
I thought that really went, though. I thought that really went, because at the start it obviously really went because they were being all sweet and nice, but then as she came in, and when you're like in the attic scene or the basement scene, it was really like dramatic, and you was a bit like, oh, what's going to happen? So I think the soundtrack went really well.
Was there building tension?
Yeah, definitely, because of the way when she was like in the attic, the camera was kind of moving, and you could tell in her voice she was panicking, and that built up tension. And then when you heard the like dum, you was like, oh my gosh, she must be in there, and I think that really built up tension. Okay then, so for my magazine cover, do you think the background picture works well, and does it generally look like a magazine cover? I think the image is brilliant, because I really, really like the difference between them and the fact that it's faded, and I think it really does look like a magazine cover because of the way text and images is placed around the side. I really think it looks conventional, yeah.
Do you think it stands out from, if you were to see it on a shelf, you saw the poster on the wall, or if you saw the magazine cover on the shelf, do you think it stands out?
Yeah, because it's not just the eye like you'd see in most posters. In most posters it might just be an eye, but the fact that it's got the faded image behind it, that's what makes it stand out, so yeah.
Do you say that $2.99 is a reasonable price for a magazine?
Yeah, for a magazine, definitely, these days, yeah.
As a whole, do you think it follows like conventions?
Yeah, definitely, because the poster is, it really draws you in, the magazine looks like a magazine, and the trailer has the right storyline for a horror, and the cut to text are just really well placed.
In my trailer, do you think the establishing shot is a scary location? Like when you saw, like the first shot you saw of the trees, do you think it's a scary location when shown on the trailer?
Yeah, because it's really isolated, and the fact that it's like the fact that you see the field and there's absolutely nothing there, you're a bit like, oh, this is going to be scary because they're going to be isolated and all that. So yeah, I think that was good.
Do you think my use of different but similar locations is enough to create impact?
Yeah, definitely, because you could obviously tell they're in a house in a really isolated field, so that it went well together, which made it work. So yeah, I think that worked.
Do you like the idea of the villain being the female? Because usually the villain's in the male.
Yeah, I like that because it's different, because you don't expect it, and that in the trailer is what draws you in, and you think, oh, that's going to be different, I want to go watch that. So yeah, I think that works really well. It's different.
Do you find it interesting how I started off the trailer with the suspense scene? Like usually it would go straight into the storyline, whereas I went from the middle and then I went back to the start.
Yeah, I like that because it was different, and therefore it stood out against like another trailer you'd see. So that again drew me in and thought, oh, that's really good. Like it helps keep my interest. So yeah, I thought that worked well, definitely.
Thank you.